Imagine this. You are in a happy wedding party, but then, suddenly out of nowhere, a pack of wolves attacks. Sounds like something from a movie, right? But this is the wild, unbelievable story of a Russian wedding that turned into a nightmare. It's March 1911 in a small Russian village called Obstipov. A young couple has just gotten married, and the whole village has come together to celebrate. The hall is packed with people, laughing, dancing, and enjoying the feast. The bride and groom are glowing with happiness, surrounded by their friends and family. Everything is perfect, until it's not. After the wedding, the party decides to travel to a nearby town called Tashkent for a grand banquet. It's a tradition, and everyone is excited. 30 horse-drawn sledges, decorated with ribbons and bells, are prepared for the journey. About 120 people climb aboard, bundled up in warm coats and scarves to brave the freezing cold. The mood is still cheerful as the sledges set off into the snowy wilderness, with people singing and laughing as they go. At first, the journey feels magical. The snow glistens under the fading sunlight, and the horses trot steadily through the quiet forest. But then, something changes. The horses start acting strange. They snort, their ears twitch, and they seem nervous. The villagers notice, but try to brush it off. Maybe it's just the cold or the long journey. But then, someone spots it, a dark shadow, moving in the distance. At first, it's hard to tell what it is, but as it gets closer, the truth becomes horrifyingly clear. It's a pack of wolves, dozens of them, running straight toward the sledges. The wolves are hungry, desperate, and moving fast. Panic spreads like wildfire. The wolves attack the last sledges first. People scream as the animals leap onto the sledges, pulling passengers into the snow. Horses rear up in terror, some breaking free and running off into the night. The once orderly procession turns into complete chaos. In the middle of the madness, people do whatever they can to survive. Some fight back with sticks, knives, or whatever they can grab. Others try to speed up their sledges, urging the horses to go faster. But the wolves are relentless. They keep coming, their eyes glowing in the dark, their teeth bared. As the attack continues, some people make terrible, desperate choices. It's said that passengers on the rear sledges began throwing others off, hoping the wolves would stop to attack them, giving the rest a chance to escape. Can you imagine choosing between your life and someone else's? At the front of the procession, the bride and groom's sledge races ahead. The groom holds the reins tightly, urging the horses to go faster. The bride clings to him, her face pale with fear. For a moment it seems like they might make it, but the wolves are too fast, too determined. And then, the unthinkable happens. The attendants on the couple's sledge turn on them. In a desperate act to save themselves, they overpower the bride and groom and throw them off the sledge. The wolves close in, and the couple's screams echo through the night. Only 2 men survive the attack. They manage to reach the town of Tashkent, but they are forever changed. Their faces are blank, their eyes haunted by what they've seen. When they tell their story, it spreads like wildfire. The news shocked the world, and the tale was even reported in the New York Times in March 1911. Here's where things get interesting. While the story is gripping, experts aren't sure if it's true. It sounds a lot like old Russian folk tales, stories about wolves attacking travelers, meant to scare people into being careful. Wolves usually avoid humans. They're shy creatures, and large-scale attacks like this are extremely rare. So it's possible this story was just a mix of folklore and sensational journalism. Back in the early 1900s, newspapers loved shocking stories. They'd sometimes exaggerate or even make things up to sell more papers. This might be one of those stories, a blend of truth and fiction designed to grab attention. Wolves aren't the monsters we sometimes make them out to be. They're just animals, trying to survive. In the wild, they avoid humans whenever possible. But stories like this one stick with us because they tap into our deepest fears. The fear of the unknown, the fear of nature, and the fear of what humans might do to survive. Whether it's true or not, this story has been passed down for over a century. It's a reminder of how scary the wild can be, and how far people might go when faced with life or death situations. So, what do you think? Was this story real? Or was it just a scary tale to keep people from wandering into the woods at night? And more importantly, if you were in that sledge with wolves closing in, what would you do? Let us know in the comments below.